Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So we're over at the Raggy's tap room, the home of beer reviews, or so as I think. Anyway, so this has recently, in the last few months at least, been released into, I think it was Sainsbury's, or it might be Tesco's. I don't know. So from Lervig, Masters of Imperial Stouts, it's their Loudspeaker. It's a pale ale, 5.1%. I say 5.1. Yeah, it says 5.2. That's 5.2. 5.2%. Yeah, it doesn't say anything interesting. Imported by UK Cave Direct, whoever they are. They've got hops, a Galaxy, and Enigma, and that's all it says. So let's dive in. So work tomorrow, back to work. It's been a near 2 weeks off work. Got to be honest, I've not missed work in the slightest. Super hoppy nose on this, 5.1%. Like I say, Comrade Stout in Morrison's from these guys is astounding. Bit chilly tonight. Temperature's really dropped. It's going to be a frost. Got a shed load of boxes to get rid of to work tomorrow. Get our money's worth out of the bins, eh? Been putting a sideboard. Well, I've been helping. We've got a friend who's like a joiner / handyman called Andy, part of the Happy Drinkers Collective, and we've been putting this sideboard up today. So it's a yellowy orange pour, hazy, little white head, and Jesus Christ. The cuts of the wood, there was a cut of wood for like a middle bit. There was 5mm too much. So when you put the backboard on, it would have stuck out 5mm. 5mm is not a lot, but instead of it being flat across, it would have bowed out. And you think to yourself, bloody hell. And they're not cheap either. And then so my wife's bought some new furniture for the front room. She's been saving her cake money up, buying furniture. Because we're redecorating straight away after Christmas. We've been wanting to do it for a while. It's a bit of it's not a tip, it's not scruffy, but it needs redecorating. But it's been fun building them units. I'm glad it just wasn't me, because if it was just me, I'd have been launching the bloody units. I'd have got peed off, shall we say. So, yeah, it's really quite hoppy on the nose. Tropical. There's a creaminess to it as well. Certainly crisp, certainly easy going. I'm now going to start not just focusing on locals. I'm going to go back to, locals have had a lot of space on this channel, and at the detriment of probably growing the channel in a lot of ways. And although some locals have been really appreciative, some just don't act like you don't exist. And for that, I think to myself, okay, you support, and yeah, so I'll go back to just reviewing. I'm just going to start picking out beers that I actually want to review rather than beers that you feel the need to review. And we're obviously getting to that time of the year. Me and the wife Christmas, we splurged a bit at Christmas, as you do, and trying to make Christmas as good as possible without going into debt as well. But now we've got to knuckle down. We've got a lot to pay for, and God knows what the cost of our gas and electric is going to be after the winter months. One can only, well, it's hard to assume. I just don't know. Sure, it said 5.1, then I read 5.2. So yeah, it's a nice hazy pour from Lervig. I think they're Norway, aren't they, Lervig? Yeah, Norway. Like I said, I like that Imperial Stout, Conrad Stout. I think that's probably the all-round best beer in Morrison's when Stranick isn't in Morrison's. Heaven was just not as good. Don't know what was going off there. I mean, obviously, Nora Monk and Lervig have done collabs before. North Star was outstanding. It's a shame they want a North Star 4. You know, I'd love to see the series carried on. Just to see what they were going to do with it. As you can see, stunning artwork on the can. Yeah, it's tasting lovely. I mean, it's a nice beer. Probably out. Temperature's proper drop tonight. So, got to wrap up Christmas beers because I don't want to be reviewing Christmas beers in the middle of January or February for obvious reasons. Oh, back to work, eh? Oh dear, what a... It's just getting back into the swing of things. Thank God it's a short week. It's only a 4-day week. Although I am working on Saturday this week to reciprocate the help that we had today. Which is lovely. You know, this thing, I'm not... I can do stuff, but I'm certainly not... I can do it to my standard. I would never touch a car because I don't know anything about cars. So, but I can do joinery, electrical work, and that to a certain standard, you know, i.e., budget and Scarpa standard. No, not quite budget and Scarpa, but certainly not a good standard. Although the best of us in our abilities, whatever our abilities are, as long as nobody knows that you've made a mistake and you can cover it up well and hide it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? You know, if you have to like rectify stuff and tell me, I'll tell you now. You know, I've watched tradesmen across the years. They've done something wrong and they've had to rectify it, and it's like fucking hell. And it happens, you know. Even the best of people can make mistakes, but rectifying it is that thing. So I've enjoyed this from Lervig. It's certainly going down well. Wanted to start throwing a lot more different stuff on the channel. You know, not just supporting one part of the beer community, but all parts. And that's where we're going to go forward from now. I can see a lot more cask beer reviews coming, you know, on the Saturdays when we do go out, because obviously we don't know if that's going to be a weekly thing or even a monthly thing going forward. But we do like our Saturdays out. It gives us a little bit of social, and for literally for 4 or 5 hours, and certainly not when it's night time because too many idiots about drinking and getting, you know, steamy. But yeah, looking forward to it. So, from Lervig, really hoppy on the nose, lovely tropical flavours on this. A nice, easygoing, more of a summer pale ale than a winter pale ale, but it's tasting nice at this time of the year. And in some ways, you know, dropping the ABV back down, lowering your what you're drinking back down after Christmas. Moderation's key, isn't it? You know, I'm not doing dry January. Will not at this time not at this time when you know the breweries are feeling the pinch as it is. You know, pubs that are half open at this time of the year. It's tough already being a pub and brewery without people flooding onto this dry January because of some stupid bloody social media thing. I mean, there are pubs that are doing, you know, lower ABV beers in the pubs. So by going out, if you are doing that sort of thing, it's up to you, obviously. We all masters of our own conquests. But if you are doing that, then go into a pub and drinking a low ABV beer, but getting out there, you know, money's money in the till. Well, the only problem is with the low ABV beers is in a pub environment, they're as expensive as the bloody beers with ABV in them. Which begs the question, why would you bother? Yeah. I've done that in the past. I've drank low ABV, like Beck's Blue. You know, on times when I used to go into town, and I wasn't much of a drinker at that stage. It was just a while back. Yeah, it was a while back as well. But yeah, and we'd go drinking in town, and I'd had enough. And you know, we'd been drinking pub to pub. These were the days when we were doing like fucking 5 minutes in a pub, pint, gone, next pub, yay! And go to the next pub, do a bit of drinking, do a bit of dancing, neck another pint, next pub. And then all of a sudden it's like, I need to come off the pints because one, I'm going to the toilet too much. You know, and I have a real thing about public toilets. Don't like going to public toilets. Why? Because they're disgusting. And in Nottingham city centre, you get these idiots that sat in the toilet selling shit. And it's like, I've come for a wee. It's a private time. I'm having a wee. One, I don't want some bloke looking over, you know, my private parts. You know how they do. Two, I don't want no one shoving you into the fucking urinal. You know, I've had workmates do that, try and do that to me. Yeah, it didn't end well. Because, you know, seeing them come in, I thought, right, you fucker, you can fucking go in the urinal. Let's start that. You know, I mean, I'm no angel. Done lots of things over the years. And someone tries to flick your bollocks as you're walking up the stairs on the bus. I think, right, you fucker, just you wait. Next time you're at the bar, all of a sudden, you get your bollocks flicked. Fucking. And, yeah, fucking hurts. Pint of, oh, please, you know, yeah. Yeah. Do unto them as they do unto you, you know. Yeah. We can all be that person. But I try not to be, obviously. Yeah, these days. I've grown up these days. But it's still there. So 12 minutes in, I meant to knock this off. Really enjoyed this. Got me talking. This is what beer's about. It gets you talking. Enjoying a beer. It's a low ABV beer, but it got me talking. And we've had a day. I mean, it has been a day and all. And I'm glad there's been two of us. And I'm glad I'm not the one who's been doing all the thinking. I've just been there, and while Andy's been doing all the thinking, I've been like there thinking, fucking hell, this is an awful unit to put together. The units look amazing now, to be fair, but they're putting it together. Flat pack furniture is an absolute ball ache at times. IKEA is king because at least it's mass produced, and they do get it right. The instructions are still shit, but they do get it right, and it's usually pretty easy to put together. For me, a good 4.4 out of 5. Well played, Lervig. And yeah, Tangent City. Cheers up. Try and turn it off, eh? Try again.